who are the people who should not buy Lodha Haven?
Investors looking for great value for money appreciation.
Why East Bangalore?
My dad had the opportunity to.
Talking about the times when we were also growing up, so it's a massive, massive change that we've witnessed.
You look at the whole history of Bangalore. Nambiar District made by Lodha Haven, the right life, Vedant Services. So my only request to buyers is, you're making the biggest investment.
From an architectural lens, I would say any township scale really matters.
A couple of small complexes, barren streets, and motorcycles and scooters standing late evening with young couples on the roadside.
Hello and welcome to the East Bangalore Real Estate Playbook, a podcast where we decode projects, prices and possibilities for our buyers, investors and everyone who's just moved to Nambiar District. Hi, I'm Akanksha Vyas, an architect turned realtor and managing sales at Hubs Global. Today I'm sitting with someone who's a well-known name in real estate, Mr. Sameer Arora, who is a speaker, author, mentor, influencer and a realtor. He's a current chairman and president of CREA Bangalore and a past president of National Association of Realtors and leading multiple other real estate associations. Sameer, thank you for doing this today. Think of our audience today as the first-time home buyers, investors, NRIs and everyone who's just trying to make sense of investing in East Bangalore. So ready to be grilled?
Absolutely, and I wouldn't call it a grilling. I would call it pursuing my passion.
Right.
That's what I've been doing for the last 25 years, and happy to share whatever little or wealth of information that I've generated on my playground at East Bangalore and across India and through the globe. And I keep saying, it's like a professor teaching the students. When you teach, you learn the most. And when I share it with the buyers, I also need to share that I have learned maximum from the buyers, always. So happy to be a part of this forum.
Sure, absolutely. Pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
So across the next 45 minutes, we'll be talking about the most talked about projects in East Bangalore. That includes Nambiar District 25, The Right Life by Manas Kanda, Prestige Evergreens, Lodha Haven, Lodha Elanza, and so many other projects in North also like Embassy Lake Terraces. We'll talk ROI, end user comfort, pros and cons, and we will end it with a round of quiz, which will help people in decision making. So let's get into it.
Every real estate investor and a financial instrument investor is looking at ROI, the return on investment. However, via this podcast from you and a little bit from me, I hope the buyers across East Bangalore find their roti. Return on the time investment then.
Wow, very well said. So let's begin with segment 1, where I'll be asking you the most common question in the market, but very unclear answer is there for it. Why East Bangalore? So let's start at 30,000 feet, where, East Bangalore, everyone's heard that it's hot. But why East Bangalore is such a compelling story for both investors and end users?
Wow. And the question sounds a little close to my heart when it comes to real estate. But on a lighter note, 30,000 feet is right because the old airport was right very close to East Bangalore. Of course, that view has been taken off now and the airport moved to North Bangalore. But Rajshri was her name.
Okay.
But I'm talking 21 years back. And she had asked me for advice on little money that she had as to where do I invest. She had just lost her husband a little while ago. And I made her invest that amount on a plot in Sarjapur Road, when Sarjapur Road was a small Wipro office, couple of small complexes, barren streets and motorcycles and scooters standing late evening with young couples on the roadside. There was absolutely nothing on Sarjapur. Fast forward, 21 years later, post-COVID, a young girl walks up into my office to give me her wedding invitation card and says, "Uncle, you won't recognize me, but I studied abroad because of you and I'm getting married because of you." And I was like taken aback. She was Rajshri's daughter, their plot multiplied, multifold, and with that money, they could afford her education abroad and were able to see. Sounds emotional, but truly, that's the story of East Bangalore. 400 rupees a square feet plots in 20 years are today 16,000, 18,000, and 20,000. Just in the last 3 years, the post-pandemic blow-up is huge, is massive. People say there is traffic on Sarjapur Road and Whitefield. And I tell them that is the density of real estate. The infrastructure speed, slightly slow, slightly more, will follow. If you want to live in very open spaces, North Bangalore sounds appealing today. But the infrastructure growth in East Bangalore is not just because of residentials. It is hugely because look at the outer ring road, look at the tech parks. Even if you want to move these IT companies to other cities and other zones, it will take you 20 years before the basis can be moved. 15, 18 years back, I wrote in Indian Express when people said, who will come and live on Sarjapur Road when large amounts of Sobha apartments and clusters were being built? And I said, look at the amount of schools on Sarjapur. It takes 2 to 3 years for a school to be built up. It takes 15 to 20 years for a school to get a reputation. Everybody prefers their children going closer to schools, even if they have to commute a little. We always knew the hospitals, the commercial establishments, the entertainment centers, everything else will follow wherever there is commercial and residential. So Sarjapur Road, Varthur, Marathali, Outer Ring Road, Whitefield, trust me, the growth has just begun. There are visionaries who saw it well in advance. There are enough and more people who see it now. And there are more than all of them put together who still don't see it. So that will decide the real estate investor, the home buyer, and the liver. And I believe in the next 3, 4, 5 years, the infrastructure would have caught pace for East Bangalore to write another winning story. But in a large part of India. Let me put it this way, the IT belt of Sarjapur, Whitefield alone is one of the largest income tax payers in this country.
Wow.
And that should mark as a statistic. Thank you.
Lovely. You're talking about the times when we were also growing up. So it's a massive, massive change that you've witnessed. And it's very insightful for everyone who's not seen the old Sarjapur Road. So can't agree more. For me, Sarjapur Road or East Bangalore for that matter is not just, great for its ROI graph, but more because of its urban growth, urban fabric, where it has formed that ecosystem of live, work, and play. What I call tremendously, in a direction where everyone would want to go with that growing phase of IT park and tech corridors and everything that you mentioned. So demand isn't just speculative; it's employment led and infrastructure backed. So, everyone who's investing in East Bangalore is not just buying an apartment, rather they are buying into a daily life where rentability, resale, and even the commute for that matter really makes sense to them. So yeah, that's about it. I think you all have answers why East Bangalore now.
Let me tell you, it's also a fun place. So people keep cribbing about the traffic here. But I think it's a fun place to go to. Every time my wife tells me go to hell, I start driving on Sarjapur Road. It's right next door. So yeah, let's make the best of it while the growth is happening. And such Herculean real estate growth, which has grown not just living standards for people, but also the wealth growth that has happened because of real estate will come with certain bit of parameters, and one of them is traffic. I call it density for real estate.
Wow. Right. So we're getting into segment 2 where we'll deep dive into the projects. Let's start with this aspirational project that is Nambiar District 25. for someone who's looked into the Instagram creatives, the social media presence of this project, what according to you this project is in one line? And since we are talking investments, what can be a tool to measure its appreciation? What can guarantee that?
So I'll put it this way. Sarjapur Road, in terms of its townships, townships as a concept is back. And Prestige City, 4 years back, changed the whole landscape of that area of Sarjapur. People never used to talk beyond Wipro head office in Decathlon or the new Wipro. And now they go almost 14-15 kilometers further ahead on Sarjapur Road, and the growth is tremendous. And I must give the credit to Prestige City. However, Nambiar District 25, with a 100-acre township, with Swift City in hundreds of acres right behind, with a metro station coming at a walkable distance, with the phase 1 sold out like a hot cake, with the phase 2 almost sold out, with 2 to 4 bedrooms in multiple configurations, multiple towers, with some of the largest amenities. So it ticks all the brackets: location, configurations, quality of construction, quality of the developer, somebody who's already built some of the best villas in this part of the town. And to top it all up, a 12,000 to 13,500 square feet pricing, extremely competitive. I would say it's a project which is for the future, which will create a thriving community. And a lot of people don't realize that a project is not just about amenities and location, but it's also a lot about the community, with the IT professionals all around this bracket, with the schools where these IT professionals' kids go, international as well as the other schools. It is absolutely like a almost cherry on top of the whole real estate in East Bangalore. So I would say Nambiar District 25, an absolutely class project. And if nobody has to buy me for my words here, one visit to their site office with us will tell you what kind of infrastructure is being done. I would give an absolute thumbs up to the project for somebody who has the mid-budget segment and wants a absolutely luxury living in a great gated community.
Yeah, I can't agree more. From an architectural lens, I would say any township scale really matters. I mean, it gives you that scope where you can plan everything living. You have that scope of creating open spaces, social spaces, you have green pockets and everything that you think of in a township, which in a way simply 2-acre projects cannot, right? So Nambiar District 25 is for someone like who's okay with waiting for 5 to 7 year of horizon, and at the same time who's betting on continuous evolution of Sarjapur Road and that township premium that kicks in once the whole retail, schools and the overall internal infrastructure fully mature, right? So with this, I want to ask you straight, what are your straight pros and cons? What is that one strength, one thing that a buyer should be realistic about before buying this one?
In terms of the strength, location, pricing, I already talked about amenities, quality of construction, all of them give a great tick. You're talking domicile, and you have projects 10 kilometers further ahead and 10 kilometers on the right hand side already built up in huge volumes. So it's perfect. In terms of a negative, like you said, today's buyers, a lot of them are coming in and saying we want something ready to move in or closer to ready to move in.
Yeah.
So the wait period has to be there because you are into multiple phases, and the astute real estate investor, home buyer, whether it's a first time home buyer or a multiple investor, must know the real estate cycles and must never invest into what he sees today, but must invest into what is not visible but can be visualized and seen for him.
Yeah.
And Nambiar District 25 is right.
Yeah, so to sum it up, it's for someone who wants that mini city feel and wants to play a long game and definitely doesn't want to move the next day, right? So it's a long thing, it's a long wait period, So Nambiar District 25, I think it's very much clear from his insights who should buy one and who should not back out from this one. Now we're entering segment 3 with the project that's very close to my heart, that is Lodha Haven on Hosa Road, a forest themed concept which is the highlight of the project. It's 9 acres of land parcel with luxurious 3 and 4 BHKs, BDA approved. In your words, what makes this particular project different from any other typical East Bangalore project?
Fabulous. And I'm wondering, why is it close to your heart, Akanksha, Miss Architect? But let me put it this way. Hell is unpopular because it's badly advertised. And that is where heaven becomes popular. And the closest thing to heaven, probably in and around Sarjapur Road or east of Bangalore, is Haven.
Right.
Which is Lodha Haven. Lodha is amongst the top developers in the country. I keep saying this. DLF, Lodha, and some of these developers have redefined luxury in India in places like Gurgaon and Mumbai. It is just entering Bangalore. Lodha has made a big splash in Bangalore with 3 or 4 projects. I personally believe Lodha Haven, even though a smallish project in terms of its acreage, with its central forest theme, with the clubhouse, with the amenities, with the location. Location is absolutely fantastic, even though it looks right in the middle of a Hosa Road traffic junction. It's actually HSR here, HSR layout here, Sarjapur Road here, and Bellendur next door. So it's a fabulous location actually. So if you club all of these factors, I think they've hit a winner absolutely. And Lodha Haven is not for every Tom, Dick and Harry customer. I am not undermining any customer. Let me put it very simply, that there are customers who will overshoot their budget to pay for an iPhone, and there are customers who will not. So it's a value proposition. It's a slightly higher budget, maybe around 14,000, 14,500 per square feet kind of rates as of today. But as per me, the appreciation on these projects will be phenomenal. The cost of living will be absolutely beneficial. And I keep saying this, return of investment is not just in the returns that you make, but in the life that you live every day in your home. So this is truly precisely the kind of place that one would want to make a home, and on a social stature, call it an address because it's a Lodha.
Yeah, I can't agree more on this. And from an architectural point of view again, I mean, we've been the other day that we've gone to Lodha Haven, we were really surprised. I'm a big fan of butterfly layouts, basically where, you have the living area in the center and either rooms on the either sides. This living area in this Lodha Haven, opens up to large decks. It completely gives you that vibe where you want to do the house parties every day. Just open that curtain glass window and, your living area just almost doubles up. Right? And mainly it's not for the aesthetics, it's also for the cross ventilation, air, and everyone who's just trying to be in that urban complex setting and at the same time wants to avail everything natural. So it's about that, and also about the usability of that space, right? And Lodha has been always that developer who's reluctant to say that they offer balconies. They sell it with the saying that they offer large decks, huge decks, and I think they rightly deliver that. So it's an absolute class, like you said. And for investors, definitely Lodha Haven is something that is a aspirational project where it combines that lifestyle narrative. At the same time, there are genuine demand drivers like IT corridors and the proximity of different areas, like you said. And definitely because of the constrained supply of similarly styled forest-themed communities in that area, right? So that's what Lodha Haven in all the description is.
Can I add something?
Yeah, definitely, sure.
Just listening to this part of Lodha Haven, I suddenly realized I'm giving a lot of leadership and financial and locational gyan on the real estate projects, and you're giving a tremendous amount of architectural viewpoint.
Yeah.
I hope we have some people in Lodha Global who will sell those.
Oh my God, thank you. Yeah, we definitely want mentors like you to be there, actually. So we are moving on to the another question on the same. Generally, we ask which segment of the society should actually buy it, but I'll ask it a little differently. Who are the people who should not buy Lodha Haven?
Absolutely lovely question. Fabulous. Uh, Anybody who's a bargain hunter, anybody who's looking at the low end of the pyramid of good products, anybody who is not willing to stretch themselves for the quality or doesn't have the time bandwidth should not do it. Should not do it. I would say somebody who's got a keen eye for quality, somebody who wants a great style for living, somebody who wants a status address, and somebody who wants more than anything else peace, quiet, tranquil, of green forest, right in the middle of urban traffic-oriented location, is the one who should look at it, who can also stretch the budget and time and bargain it for a quality of life and nothing else.
Right. So think of Lodha Haven as a calmer Bangalore within the madness of outer ring road belt, wherein you don't want to buy move in next day, but at the same time it will definitely cost you slightly higher, and it will demand slightly deeper pockets.
Very well said, Lakanksha. Let's move on.
So let's get into segment 4, where we'll have a high-speed but high-value tour of several other projects in East Bangalore. So when you hear The Right Life by Manan Skanda, beyond the branding, because it's one of the top emerging developers, what segment of buyers come to your mind first, and where do you position this project as compared to the others we just talked about?
Manan Skanda, The Right Life, is actually the right life for most buyers on Sajap, on this belt. There are aspirational buyers. There are first-time iPhone buyers, and there are first-time Samsung phone buyers.
Right.
And Manan Skanda takes you there. It's a township, way more than 100 acres. I would call it the first project which has more than 40 themes which are child-centric. So it's a perfect family haven where children can grow in large communities with large amenities dedicated to them. It's very close to almost all the schools that you could talk of on Sajapur, and obviously closer to the other amenities. On one end you have Earthwood Whitefield, on the other hand you have Sajapur, and the third end you have Maharashtra.
Right. So
I think it's an absolute brilliant location, great project. But more than anything else, it's the strategic pricing around 11,500 per square feet. That's a clear-cut winner. The configurations are absolutely fabulous because there are too many configurations offered to the buyers. So each one can choose as per their potential and liking and to fit it into the budget. So I also think, Apple wasn't Apple without Steve Jobs. Each company goes through a transition. Prestige, DLF, Lodha, Oberoi were not built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. Mana has completed over 30 projects. And I can tell you, out of all my knowledge in real estate, that Mana is bound to become one of the biggest developers, not just in Bangalore, but maybe in the country in times to come, the way they are positioned and growing. So this one is a hardcore winner. In fact, Akanksha, if you allow me to talk, Mana is just launching a fabulous project nestled between Sajapur and Outer Ring Road called Mana Vardhan Terraces. That is garden living right in the middle of humdrum IT belt of Bangalore, very close to Adarsh Palm Retreat. This project is another absolute thorough winner from Mana. From me, it's a thumbs up to both these projects from Mana, hugely. And I would want to add one more line for the Right Life project. Investors looking for great value for money appreciation over a shorter period of time. Again, the Right Life is your perfect plan. If you're looking at great rental returns, ROI in terms of rental returns from apartments. Bright Life is again a perfect match. So I would say I am floored by what a ambitious mid-sized developer who's graduating into a top developer is capable of doing there, and absolutely happy to see that.
Yeah, very, very well put up. Like complete holistically, you've given insight on this particular project. I mean, I also have to say something on this. I've always seen this project as a sister project to Nambiar District 25 because of the scale and, like you said, multiple variants of the configurations that it offers, including 2, 3, and 4 BHKs. So basically, for investor, I mean, anyone for MUs also, someone who's falling into that bracket of 1 to 2 CR. I think this one is a very, very good project, where somebody is looking for a full amenity living, that lifestyle, that community lifestyle. And so basically, this could be that balance point between the pure investment and end use. So yeah, absolutely a fine one.
Nambiar District 25, Lodha Haven, The Right Life, Vedant Terraces. The 4 projects that we have discussed till now are all projects where 20 years later kids would be saying here on Sajapur Road, my dad had the opportunity to buy it at 12,000.
That's a common story.
And they didn't buy it.
Yes.
So
yeah,
that's,
please mark
and moms can decide now whether they want to invest now or they want their kids to say that later.
Now let's talk about Brigade Avalon, a landmark project standing proudly on Whitefield Main Road. When I say Brigade is obviously a well-known name, and moreover, it's a comfort brand for many Bangaloreans. What, as per you, what edge does it set or bring to East Bangalore?
You tell me. Akanksha, from an architectural viewpoint, I can talk about location. I can talk about price. Brigade Avalon is not for the faint-hearted price. It's one of the more expensive projects because it comes from a Brigade stable and it's one of their premium projects. They're just about 3 towers, right?
As of now, but they're launching there.
And it's a smallish density project, okay, with some great configurations, larger apartments, 3 and 4 bedrooms. It is what you call redefining luxury in that micro market. And to me, Brigade Avalon is for someone who has already arrived, somebody who's looking at a stature living, somebody who's looking at larger sizes, great views, tremendously good quality of construction, high value proposition. That's what Brigade Avalon wants best. I want you to spell out the technical details of Brigade Avalon, because like you said for a couple of projects earlier, this one's close to my heart.
Yeah, definitely. So, when I talk about Brigade Avalon, it particularly interests me because I admire this project very much because of its floor plans. So on the outer part, we've already pretty much summed up it for everyone that it's not a huge project. It's a simple 4.5 acres project with limited units, 208 units, basically almost 50-55 units per acre, which is definitely a low density one. But when you enter the premises, you have that aura and the luxury of the project that you're feeling, which you definitely call luxury, real luxury in real sense, right? So, like I was talking about the floor plans, in my architectural journey, I've always tried to blend in the indoors and outdoors. And I think this one is that example which has that seamless blend. And, so basically you are at the core of the city and yet you are connected with nature. So actually I've made a very detailed analysis video of this one. I think we'll share the link in the description box. You can definitely check out. But with this particular project, with this particular builder, I would say the finishing quality, the floor plans, the amount of light and air that they have planned in with the open spaces within a small space. I think it's an absolute smart planning that, it takes a smart mind to do that. And, with the pricing and everything that you're talking, you've already covered, this is a marvel project. So, yeah. So
I would like to add a different dimension to what most buyers would not think. Any company, whether it be a product company or a IT company or a real estate company is driven by the owner and the management.
Yeah.
I personally know Mr. Jason, an absolute fan of the way he's made progression. I've known Pavitra, who's the present managing director of Brigade, Mr. Jaishankar's daughter. And right from her days in the US to the transition here, both sisters, Pavitra and Nirupa, are amongst the top entrepreneur women in the country today.
Yeah.
They've been awarded. And the way they are building up Brigade Enterprise as an enterprise,
Yeah.
the way they've been forward looking, the way they've become customer centric and channel partner centric, the way they're everything from sourcing to the final demand supply works, and the way their policies are, the way they are adopting technology into their company and into real estate.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very far-fetched dreams that are coming true from companies like this, and I'm a huge admirer. So if a client has a budget of 4.5 crores to 7.5 crores and is looking at Whitefield Main Road as a location in close proximity to everything else and looking at luxury living, trust me, nothing comes close to Brigade.
Right. I think I don't have to say anything if it's all covered. Okay, so moving on to our next names, I see Worthwood and I see Prestige Evergreens, the new phase of Prestige Raintree Park. What can be the smartest way to look at the new version or the new phase of an already established project? What do you see this project is offering as features and qualities to the newbies or someone who's just moved to Bangalore recently?
I think you already positioned it for the IT people, and between the Whitefield, EPIP, IT Tech Parks, and the Marapalli Tech Parks and the Sajapur Tech Parks, Worthwood is absolutely centrally located. And Worthwood, bang opposite Worthwood Lake, you have an absolute luxury project by Prestige called Prestige Raintree.
Yeah.
Obviously, the configurations on the 3, 4, 5 bedrooms were bigger at Raintree Park and not affordable by everybody. And very smartly, and when I use the word smart, and when I use the word evergreen, the next project is called Prestige Evergreens, which is the phase 2, which is the smaller configurations of 2 and 3 BHKs that have come up from Prestige, right behind Prestige Raintree Park. And there is a Prestige Tech Park right next.
Yeah.
So, and this is not the end. There are multiple phases on the land that they have acquired that will come up further from Prestige. So this is also bound to become a large township in multiple phases, and each phase will allow a certain end of the community to live in. Now, typically that new aspirant IT buyer, maybe a bachelor who comes to work, bachelor or a spinster who comes to work in Bangalore, joins the IT industry, makes some money in 5-7 years, get married or not, but are looking at their first investment on an apartment, both to live in or as an investment. Evergreen is the absolute evergreen product from Prestige. And I must say this, you look at the whole history of Bangalore in the last 30 years of real estate growth, and I think the most intelligent man who's always priced it absolutely perfectly is probably Irfan Razak sir, the doyen of our real estate industry, and that is where Prestige has tasted tremendous success. I know he believes in the fact that in real estate, everybody in the supply chain should make money, and he believes in the consumer or the buyer making wealth, making money out of the product that he buys. And I think Evergreen falls perfectly in that stature at around 14,500 per square feet pricing, which is absolutely perfect for that location.
Right. Prestige, it's in the name. It's indeed a prestigious brand, and definitely not new to the Bangaloreans, right? So, and every city has its own charm, right? Bangalore is, blessed with a lot of lakes, and that's why it comes in the picture that developers offer a lot of lake-facing apartments. And Raintree Park, for that matter, faces a wonderful view of the Varthur Lake, not to forget that. And when it comes to investment part and everything, I would say for someone who's just moved in, and new phase is like the new version. It's like a sequel of a movie where you learn from the previous past mistakes and rectify the mistakes and do the corrections, needful corrections. And I think phase 2 or other phases that comes in later, I think it's very, very important and interesting for someone who moves in, because the social infrastructure already comes alive there. So you have ample scope where you just don't move in and you have that noisy atmosphere around, but rather you can access the amenities and it's full of life already, right?
So I will sum it up in one line. Prestige cracked the real estate code long ago.
Yeah.
Many of us in real estate will sell a sea-facing apartment, a mountain-facing apartment, a lake-facing apartment, inside clubhouse facing apartment, and it's a part and parcel of the work that we do. But truly speaking, Prestige cracked the code by focusing on creating communities and not just focusing on the views and stuff.
Yeah.
So they have created some of the best communities and will continue to do so. And Raintree Park and Evergreens are definitely another extension.
Right. So now if we talk East Bangalore and don't mention Sobha, Adarsh and Godrej, I think we'll probably be unfriended by most of the industry right now. Yes. So let's talk some of the projects by them: Shobhayana, Godrej Lakeside Orchard, Adarsh Welcome Park, Adarsh Lumina, Adarsh Lakefront, etc. And what these established players or big brands bring to the table.
I think you're also forgetting Birla.
All right.
So, Birla
All right. Yeah.
as a project. So yeah, East Bangalore has had tremendous amount of new launches, has had multiple projects coming in. Most of them from these grand scale builders. Sobha, obviously, with its backward integration, probably produces one of the best apartments for living by the people, because everything is every quality control manufacturing is done by them for most of the products within Sobha. So Sobha Infinia, bank opposite the HSR Lake, right at the entry to Sarjapur, is a great project. Okay, Godrej with its lakeside orchard and other projects, 24, has been doing extremely well. You're talking of Adarsh, who's had a multiple base here, and obviously we know Adarsh Mountain Retreat is one of the most well-known projects around. Adarsh Welcome Park is going to be no less. So Sarjapur Road has extended another 5-7 kilometers towards Gadahalli, Raisandra, towards all these areas, not just towards Prestige City on this side. So if you see, the expansion is all around. And the older version of Sarjapur Road is now very, very expensive. And the newer version of Sarjapur Roads and Whitefield extensions are what are more affordable, and newer projects will keep coming. There are a couple of them coming around, Hope Farm Circle and Whitefield. There are quite a few that are coming. Land parcel is not so easily available to the developers today to launch more and more projects, and that is where the demand will continuously keep growing. But this is something that I always insist on the new buyers, especially the IT field buyers. See, everybody who buys their 2-bedroom house first says this is my permanent home. And then 5 years later, they are promoted, they transfer to US, they transfer to another city, and the house needs to come up either for rentability or saleability. And both need to be extremely high. Now, what a lot of people forget is that any real estate investment, even if you are buying it as a home, becomes an investment at some point of time, because you upgrade. You upgrade from a 2 BHK to 3 BHK. You upgrade from a 3 BHK to a penthouse. You upgrade from a penthouse to a row house or a villa. And then finally, I've seen most rich people, after living in those large villas, want a farmland somewhere because they want to come closer to earth and go back to their roots. But that is how the whole process in real estate works, and that is why it's extremely essential that in a city like Bangalore, which I will tell you why Bangalore is very, very unique to the rest of the country. The biggest industry that drives growth here is the IT industry. The salaries are all in white. The loanabilities are extremely high. And because of that, this is the biggest white market in real estate in India. And I'm saying it aloud, but it's a fact. It's a fact that everybody knows that markets like NCR, Mumbai, Ahmedabad are not as white as Bangalore.
Yes.
And that is where you have the highest number of listed and branded players. RERA protection coming in, things have streamlined very, very hugely. People like us and our associations like Kriya and Bangalore work in close coordination with developers, RERA authorities, the government, the policy advocacy, and that is all that over the last few years has ensured that the projects are not delayed. The customer interest, the consumer interest is always maintained. The projects are delivered either before time or well in time. Okay? And the consumer is taken care of even in terms of the quality of construction. So we are progressing by leaps and bounds. And everybody keeps saying, Mr. Modi has said that by 2030 we'll be a $5 trillion economy and by 2047 we'll be here. But let me put it slightly differently. Even if we have to be 50% of the target, and we will be a lot more, but even if we have to be 50% of the target, real estate and infrastructure has to drive 16 to 18% of that growth. And if we are meeting that, what we have seen in Bangalore till now is the tip of the iceberg. What is coming in terms of the next leap of growth in the next 8 to 10 years is absolutely phenomenal. My word, you have money, invest it in real estate now, you'll thank me too.
Absolutely, very well said.
Thank you.
Anything that you're buying with these builders, it's definitely going to be an asset. So if you are losing your sleep over, timely possessions and the finishing quality, I think you should go with these builders. But on the contrary, I would also want to throw some light on the BCAT builders. I think because of the competition that is coming in the market, I would say BCAT builders are also doing really, really good. So what do you have to say on that?
Akanksha, my first thing, I hate that word ACAT builder and BCAT builder.
Yeah, but it's categorized like that.
It sort of sounds like a supermodel and an upcoming model
and a side model.
Like but you know what? I will use the right word, branded players and not
emerging players.
Not branded.
Yes.
Okay. Listed players, branded players. They have established, they've had the advantage of time from when they've started, from the multiple projects that they have done.
Right.
So you're very right. But let me also tell you something. This is something I proved to a client. Near to Total Mall on Sajapur Road, there are two projects, Diveshri Elan and Purva Whitehall. And I told the customer, give me an apartment there. In 1 month, I will sell it. Max. There are 25, 30 more projects behind Elan, which are all unbranded projects. People felt price appreciation post-pandemic has happened there.
Yeah.
But now they realize that it takes 11 months, 12 months, 15 months to sell an apartment. And that is why I use the word. Capital appreciation is one thing, but saleability and rentability is another, which is where these branded builders are more well positioned, well respected, because title clarity is huge. So I am not undermining any so-called Cat B or unbranded players. In fact, I know some of them who are giving better sizes, better quality of construction, better material, great deliveries, and customers should look at it. However, each one of us chooses a profession to be in and focuses on what is our strength arenas in terms of what we deliver. And at Huts Global, we have chosen to sell iPhones and Samsungs. I am not going to undermine the Redmis of the world. However, my focus will remain the iPhones and the Samsungs.
Absolutely.
And there is a huge point that I want to touch for you. Thanks to the digital media, thanks to where the marketing has reached today, everybody, because there is no barriers in real estate, is getting into real estate transactions. I see some people today who don't even know how to explain a floor plan, but their mode is only to take a customer from there to the site.
Yeah.
The developer person will sell it and they will get their commissions. I think the whole advisory is getting lost. Investing in your knowledge. I have done more than 45 courses in different parts of real estate, in different domains of real estate across the globe to grow the knowledge that I have grown. And so have some other people. So my only request to buyers is, you are making the biggest investment of your life. It is strange that when they want to invest 5 lakh rupees on a mutual fund, they will go to the best experts. When they want to invest in equity, they will go to a chartered accountant or to an expert. But when they want to invest crores in the biggest investment, they think they can do the best chat GPT and research. Whereas the home conditions or the project conditions, where is the graveyard? Where are the title approvals? Where has the Nana been taken out of? How are the documentation clarity coming into picture? And that is where you need an expert who not only tells you, it is my job to tell the customer, and that is the philosophy we follow at Huts Global. These are the pros, these are the cons of the project. It is the conscious decision of the buyer to buy or not buy.
Yeah.
And that is where buyers have to choose the right consultative advice. The second thing most investors forget, and in today's game of digital, they do not even think through who is going to sell the apartment or the project or the inventory for them few years from now. So go with people who also have the expertise, not just to help you buy, but to help you resell.
So Sameer, thank you so much for this masterclass. We've gained wonderful insights through this.
My pleasure.
For anyone who's watching this and evaluating their options to the projects we just talked about, I hope this episode helped you with a lot of clarity with your options. And if you really want us to break down the layouts, numbers, and the legal checks for any of your case, please reach out to us at Huts Global. We'll be happy to help you and see your options, not as a salesperson, but as advisors. This is me, Akanksha, and Sameer signing off. See you in the next episode.
May you all buy not just the best home, but the home that's best for you.
Thank you so much.